Welcome back to Crusader Kings II and to what I hope will be the start of the Japan Overhaul mod. So, I've taken some of your suggestions, some of your ideas. Some of them were incredible, by the way. I'm still working on a lot of them because obviously I've only had a day to work on these so far. I have, however, implemented a Bushido code to a decent level, I think. And obviously there are some historical problems with that, but we'll talk about that in the video. I'm having to start a new game because of the amount of changes that I'm making right now. Unfortunately, I feel like Nintendo Keith has had his day. Obviously, he lived. He died with no eligible male successor. So that was the end of Nintendo's Keith story. Instead, we're going to start up here, right in the north of Japan, with the Mutsu and the Dewa provinces there. So we're a little more powerful than we were before, rather than playing down here in Kanto. Prime target there for the Emperor. So we'll play up here. We'll go ahead and start ourselves a new house instead. And I might start this up as a ruler designer? Were we not allowed ruler designer? Oh, no. Well, that's different, I suppose. Okay. Let's not worry about it. Let's just go for it. Why not? That generally tends to get overpowered anyway. We'll see what we can do just by playing through the game here. So, here we go. This is the start. So, like I said, what I've implemented so far is I feel like a pretty decently fleshed out Bushido, which adds a whole different game mechanic system to the game where you have to balance your sort of honorable and dishonorable traits. So, Bushido didn't really appear until the Sengoku era. The Sengoku era, I believe, was like the early... No, it was the late 14th century, right? Like the 1470s, something like that. So, we've taken some liberties with this, right? But it's adding kind of a cool mechanic that plays into Japanese culture. As I said, the first thing I've done is built the Bushido code, because that was my favorite and the most upvoted response on the comments that you guys left on the last video there. So as we can see with our first character here, coming Matsumoto, who's not very good at all. He's craven and cruel. He has an honor level of -1, and that is the Japanese character for 1 there, in a red shield to signify that it's negative, right? And as those increase, that will obviously change to, say, -3, -5, depending on what traits you've got. If you have lots of negative traits, you can eventually, it's from a scale to -10 to +10. So if you have all the good traits and you tick every box, you can be considered a very honorable character, which will give you piety, it will give you opinion with all other Shinto characters. They have to be Japanese culture and Shinto religion just to make some sense of it. Let's check out our wife. So our wife, for example, has content. So that's giving her an honor level of 1, because one of the codes of Bushido is self-control, and I feel like contentedness and temperance, I felt both played into that. So both of those will give you that extra little bonus there. If we go and take a look at, say, I don't know, let's go and take a look at the Emperor, for example. So the Emperor is just cruel, but he is gregarious. So gregarious is considered politeness, which is the 4th code of Bushido. I couldn't really think of what has to do with that. Obviously, kind and gregarious sort of fell under that category. So gregarious is cancelling out the cruel. So he actually has no honor or dishonor. He's a very neutral character. If we take, for example, the king over here, let's take a look at the king level character. He has honor level of 2 because he's patient and brave and honest, all of which are considered good in the Bushido code, but he is deceitful. If he didn't have deceitful, he would be an honor level 3 character there. Hopefully you guys can sort of see what I'm going for that. If you have any feedback about this section of it, obviously let me know. But that updates every month based on your traits. I didn't want it firing all the time because that will slow the game down quite a lot depending on how many Japanese characters there are. And, you know, that's sort of what I'm bearing in mind when I'm trying to make this mod. Because this is eventually going to be ported to the base game. All I need to do is make a Japanese culture for the base game, and you guys can play that in your own playthrough. I've also taken the Warriors Guild, which hasn't spawned in yet because there aren't enough members. You have to wait for the societies to actually spawn in. When the Warriors Guild appears, I've renamed that to the Samurai. I've changed the rank names. I've changed a little bit of flavor text here and there to make that into a Samurai-based guild. And that's one of the things that's going to take me a long time to build up. But I do think that is probably one of the best ideas we had, were things like the Geisha Society, exclusively for women, that I imagine would give, you know, intrigue diplomacy. A Ninja Society for those intrigue-based characters. I think that's a very, very good idea, and it's, again, another hugely upvoted part of the suggestions there. So we'll definitely be looking into something like that. And the last couple of things I'm working on is a Shogunate-style system. So, kind of, again, way too early, but I thought a cool idea might be, and one of you suggested a sort of Holy Roman Empire equivalent for Japan, would be the Shogunate. So, the way I'm thinking of implementing it is actually holding all of the holy sites in Japan, and reforming the religion, making you the shogun, if you will, the emperor of Japan. And that'll probably be from the intrigue menu rather than the traditional sort of religion reformation, or even just an intrigue menu at all that doesn't really play too much into religion. But I figured if you hold the holy sites, that sort of shows you the main areas of Japan you would need to hold, and then you'd be considered the shogun, which would give you, you know, perhaps some prestige and perhaps some vassal opinion, some martial maybe, things like that, to make it a little more interesting. Clan rivalries was another really, really good suggestion, because that is very true of the sort of warring period of Japan, that they would have a lot of clan rivalries. That's something I'm working on, very inspired by the Game of Thrones mod, for example, where they have blood feuds. That's what we do in this one. And then the final one was worship ancestors, so in Shintoism there's like more local deities, local shrines, things like that. That's what I'll be focusing on. Maybe you could get some buffs if you worship, I don't know, successfully, and probably just be a roll of the dice, let's be honest, giving you some martial, or depending on, you know, what shrine you visit, or things like that. Maybe you're taking pilgrimages. You get different bonuses based on that. But that's basically already in the base game, isn't it? Worshipping ancestors. So that won't be too much work. That's what I'm working on right now. Again, if you've got any more suggestions, let me know. That being said, let's actually get into the game at this point, because I feel like I've been talking about the mod forever. So, we're playing as Kami Matsumoto Okikazu of Dewa, Matsumoto of House Matsumoto. Holy shit, look at how much history they've added. They've added loads of effort in really weird places. Like, they've fleshed out this guy's complete family tree, but haven't done much other Japanese stuff at all, to be honest. So, a little bit strange. Can we change our focus? We can't, because apparently this dude picked it not long before we started. How long have we got to wait? Oh, wow, we've got to wait 4 years? Must have been chosen completely at random then. Okay, fair enough. We obviously want to start working on Bushido immediately, because having an honor level of -1 is going to make people dislike us. Not only that, but it also stacks with the fact that Craven is a vassal opinion -5, Cruel is a vassal and attraction and general opinion of -5 as well. If we can flip those, we can start making ourselves some friends here and there. We've got ourselves a wife. She's 16. She is fussy, which is weird, because this game still thinks she's a child, but we won't worry about that too much. Maybe it'll clear that. I'm not sure how the game deals with things like that. She's not bad otherwise. You know, gremlins and content is fine. We'd probably like to take a wife with some decent congenital traits, because we are playing with the vanilla congenital traits mod there. Let's see what I can find. Some of them have some weird traits. I don't know why, seeing as we've loaded into this, but a lot of the traits don't seem to have worked properly. That might, again, be the vanilla congenital traits mod messing up with Umbra Spherae there. It'll fix itself over time. Right, let's find somebody who's potentially brilliant. Gender, let's go for women. Let's go for in prison, preferably not. Preferably within Diplo range as well. And there are none with the brilliant trait. We've got some here that are prestigious bloodline. Yeah, we've got some really odd trait clashes here. Unless she's actually descended from a prestigious bloodline. She might be, because this guy is, yeah, that's not right. One reason I wanted to play here was it actually gave us a little bit of expansion up into Ainu here, into the very northern Japanese island. I feel like we could just probably go to war straight away for that, right? Yeah, Holy War, because they are pagan, of all things. Okay, fair enough. That'll make our lives a lot easier. They've got 1,300 men. We have 2,300, but if we're Holy Warring, obviously they're going to call in their neighbours. They're 1,400, 1,300. What about these guys? Are they the same religion? They are, but I don't think there's a straight crossing there. Right. So what we could do is, to get ourselves a decent foothold here, is immediately head north and hope that we can actually make that crossing before these guys turn up. Now, obviously, the downside to that is we are going to be taking a straight crossing. I'm not sure whether or not that's the best play, but I feel like it's probably what we should do right now. Now, what I'm thinking we do then, let's go ahead and declare that Holy War, and immediately we've got to start snowballing, because otherwise the Emperor or the King there are going to start swallowing up Japan faster than we can actually match them. Holy War for Izo. Let's raise our troops, and actually what we're going to do is let them come to us. So we're going to retreat down. Now, I imagine, again, they would have automatically joined before we'd have got there, so let's wait for them, again, to cross into us. Now, maybe we could even stand on the crossing. They might even head over. Oh, they're taking boats. Okay, I wasn't expecting that at all, but that's actually incredible for us, because that's going to make it much easier to divide and conquer their armies. Look at that. That's a great... 100%. Holy shit, we actually captured him in battle immediately. Awesome. Nice. What a great start, then. Okay, well, there's some free land for us. Nice, nice, nice. Let's go ahead and give away this tribe here. Oh, they're all tribes. Okay, that's a little bit annoying. What do we need? We need to convert it to our religion, and we need a stone hill fort as well, which obviously we pay for with prestige. Gonna take some time before we can do that. Now, what about like a border dispute, maybe? Can they join that one? No, but it does count as an unjust war. Ducal conquest, I feel like they can join, can't they? Oh, no, we can just declare war on that for 100 piety, though. Oh, it seems a little bit risky. I would like to Holy War instead. So, this guy's 1,400 men. He will join it as well with 1,300. Again, we have 2,500 there. So, should we play it again, see if it actually works? I don't know whether they'll fall for that twice in a row. Now, they've got 1,400 men immediately raised in that province there. Bring our guys south. See what they'll do. I wonder why they did that last time. That was a really strange tactic. Do we have any boats of our own? We actually do. We have more than enough boats, so we don't even have to risk that that river crossing either, which was my biggest concern here. Right, let's get those boats together. Merge them, move our troops up, and get ourselves in command of that. There we go, nice. So with 15 martial, actually, we're not too bad. And you've got to remember, this is more or less base game CK2 as well. So 15 martial is pretty decent. Let's go ahead and land in their capital, then we'll just head south and crush their army before the attrition takes care of us. Oh shit. Do we really not have any better commands than that? 5. Wow. This guy's got 8, which is a little bit of an improvement. Can he lead troops? No, he's busy doing other things. Let's try and find ourselves a commander then before we actually go to war. Ooh, the last of my prestige. Oof, owie. Alright, let's go for... Okay, 12, and he's a holy warrior. That's pretty good. That's going to help out a lot in these holy wars, funnily enough. Right, let's get him there. He might even be better on the center. But that's too inside baseball for me. Right, let's take out these troops. Nice, very easily done with there. Let's counter siege that. And we do have Shattered Retreat on my mistake. I meant to turn that off. I'll do that in between episodes. And let's head north there. Lords of Japan have approved the institution of Corpus Iris Civilius. Sure. We haven't accidentally loaded into our old save game, have we? No, we haven't at all. I wonder why it did that then. Very strange. I accept this gift reluctantly. Do we want to gain the trait Charitable? Now, Charitable is part of the Bushido Principle, so we absolutely do want to take that if we can. 45% chance we didn't get it. That's actually a shame. Now, again, I'm trying to add some variation to gameplay here. So, getting things like Content, obviously you wouldn't really want that if you're playing the base game, because Ambitious is far superior. But in this, it's actually going to give us bonuses beyond just, you know, stat bonuses. It's going to give us the respect and the piety and the, you know, the general opinion with members of our religion. So, it's actually worth doing in this. And that's what I'm kind of aiming for with this mod, giving us a different way to look at CK2 rather than just the usual crap that we do. I've put those boats out at sea. That's how you deal with boats, by the way. Make sure you put them out as far away from land as possible. That's a little bit annoying. Would they... Yeah, they'll actually stop. Holy shit. Why would they do that? My wife is pregnant as well. That's good. I want to try and turn this character into somebody who's really good, you know. And after this generation, we'll start work on the eugenics program as I normally do. Start breeding in, you know, brilliant or strong or immaculate. Things like that. Can really start giving us just those generic stats to start off without having to worry too much about Bushido. But at the same time, we've got to sort of consider it in the background too. Oh, this has given us a huge amount of power already. Should have definitely picked the start last time. Sorry, Nintendo Keith. As great as you were, this seems to be a much better start. Now, we will rename the house as well. Now that we've won some provinces here, won some lands. Let's give this away. Oh, we are actually over our domain limit. Just if we give this one away, we're fine. There we go. Look at that. That's a good start. Now, what do we want to be? Do we want to be House Matsumoto for much longer? Or do we want to go back and be the rise of Nintendo II? I feel like let's do it again. I want to see Japan under the Nintendo Shogunate there. I feel like that'll be pretty funny. Wrong types holding domain. We're just going to have to put up with that for a while. Alright, designated regent. That can be basically anybody that we haven't completely pissed off at this point. Trademaster, Yoldu, Cupbearer, Yoldu, and Court Tutor can be Okamori, our heir. Oh, he's a member of our house. Our blind son. Huh. What happened there then? Weird. Okay, and is that... Who's his mother? Nobody? Okay, he's just spawned so that we actually have an heir in case we die instantly. Okay, that's fair enough. Now, we do want to be composing a book again as soon as possible, but we have a learning of 2. Oh, God, what have you done? Now, there are going to be focuses much more powerful for us relative to the base game, just because we are after those good stats. So, obviously, rulership to get just, diligent, things like that will obviously buff up our Bushido principles and increase our honor. We could go for theology, say, which will help buff things up as well. I'd like you guys to be able to see the effects changing in real time. Look at this guy on a level 2 because he has brave. And what else is he getting there? Probably he is considered loyal. If his vassals like him, and if he likes his vassals, there's a symbol of loyalty there, which is another part of Bushido. Interesting. I wonder who's the most honorable character. It's a shame it's not a true trait, because we can't search it. See, this guy is deceitful, so he actually doesn't have any honor there at all. Now, he will have some back again, probably because he has a high opinion, there we go, of his daimyo, so he's considered loyal there, which is cancelling out his deceitful trait. Glad to see it's working. That was my biggest worry, that we were going to enter this and everything was going to be broken. The realm may be poor, but I humbly request some funds for trading. Not today, my friend. Now, where were the trade posts? All in South Japan. Understandable. Have a nice day. I'm not really sure what I expected there. This province is actually better than our capital. Oh, because it's got a city. Right, do we want to move up to Mutsu and make that our capital instead? Let's take a look at the castle here. 11,000 men. Sorry, 1,100 men, 900 garrison, 5.2 fort level. Okay, fair enough. 1,100 men, 600 and 5.2 garrison. Right, they're more or less the same in terms of castle composition. 30 gold. That one's got... Again, they're more or less identical. It's whether or not we want a temple or a city. This one also has more holding slots. So, alright, yeah, sure. We'll move up to Mutsu instead. Go ahead and have our... what are they doing? We're such an economy tech. Weird. What's this guy doing as well? He's training troops. I'm organize the army because we don't really have any good commanders right now. We get our son, our blind spy master of a son, to go to China's capital and steal their tech. Some of you said don't ever send your spy master to the capital unless you want him to die. I mean, it's a very small chance of happening, plus I honestly don't mind half the time if my spy masters die to just getting captured or whatever by the Byzantines, so it doesn't matter that much to me. But it is a fair point. If you do want to keep your spy master alive, if they're your heir or something, definitely don't do what I did. I only care about my heir. I'd prefer he dies, because I don't want to play as yet another blind character in another series. Alright, good news. I've fixed the problem with the save game now, so actually all the traits have changed completely. We've had some switch over. Our character is a little bit better. We've lost, unfortunately, that great martial score that we had. It's all been moved into learning, which is pretty useless. But we got charitable, we got just, we got trusting, we got wrath. A little bit better. In terms of honor, in terms of the Bushido code, we're up to honor level 1 because just and charitable are considered good. Wrath is considered bad and has cancelled out that a little bit. We can now choose an ambition. The King of Anu Moshe? What is that one, de jure? Oh, it's like North Japan and this very northerly island here. Okay, sure. I mean, that seems like a pretty good one to have, right? So let's go with... Oh, shit, we can change our focus as well. Hang on. Right, let's do that one. In terms of what we want to do with our focus, I'm going to go rulership for now, just because it's always very good for keeping your vassals on side. It gives us a little bit more taxes for stewardship. There is an argument we could have gone with business to build up this early on. That's fine. I think it'll be alright. What have we got here? We've got Yoritoshi has... Oh, right. We can usurp the duchy because I guess we're part of Tohoku here. Yeah, nice. Okay. So absolutely, we'll usurp that and become ourselves a duke. Nice. Look at that. And we can set our crown focus too now. Excellent. Right. That's really cool. Compose a book for 88 gold. Absolutely. Let's write about Amiya Nome Akanayushi. Hang on, let me try that again. Amenominakanushi. Close enough. That's about learning. Family history of stewardship. I think we'll go with stewardship for now, just based on the fact that we're pretty decent at stewardship, and we haven't got a huge amount else to do. Now, our ultimate goal is to, obviously, form Japan, form the bloodline. That'd be pretty cool, and then eventually, if we want to carry on the series, go all the way to Rome, we can do that. Matsumoto Okamori. Our son. Now, our son, as you might remember, was blind, but now he's much, much better. Greedy, lustful. Ooh, he's dishonorable because of his, paranoid, lustful, greedy ways. He's ambitious as well, which goes against the code of Bushido. In fact, it's only lustful and ambitious, in this case, that go against it. On level -2, not very good because that is, the character we're destined to play as, but he does have cancer. I'm going to say, let's not bother. Let's let him die. We've got ourselves a new wife. That's the only stipulation between this game and what you saw before, was that I had to find a new wife. She's pregnant, though, and she is immaculate. She is a Midas touch. She is greedy, patient, a very good character all around. Now, because she's not a ruler or anything, she doesn't have an honor level. That's not calculated. It's only calculated once on the game loads for everybody, and then monthly, it'll only update for rulers. So, again, I'm worried about the speed of which the game runs. I'm trying to, make it approachable to everybody. And we had a son, Matsumoto Furuyasu. We're going to rename you to, we want Nintendo-based names, right? So I'm going to call you Donkey Kong and Matsumoto. We've again reverted back to House Matsumoto. Not today. The rise of House Nintendo will go forward. Nintendo. There we go. Awesome. Right. That's very, very cool. I like that. So we've got off to a really good start here. I didn't actually realize this was a kingdom level top, so that's obviously our goal right now. What do we need for that? We need 2 duchy level titles. Well, we've already got the ability to make one because we've conquered that northerly province. We just need the gold. And then I think we can actually just form the kingdom, can't we? Yeah, we just need the gold. Holy shit. Probably should have taken business focus then in hindsight, eh? So we can't raid or anything either, as far as I know. So that means there's only one thing left to do. Join the samurai. So, like I said, I've altered it somewhat. We've got the samurai. We've got the leader of the samurai there, Kodenbushi, legendary warrior. Got different ranks. Aonasai Bushi. We've got Chukan Bushi. We've got Sei Bushi and Kodenbushi being the champion there. I will more Japanify it, or more... I'll make it more Japanese as we go along. This guy, I don't know how he's joined, because the one thing I did make, the one stipulation I did change with the actual, the way the society works, is that at the top there, has culture Japanese needs to be true. Kind of surprised there was enough Japanese people that wanted to join. Oh, right, I see there are a lot of other members that are already part of the society, but it's mostly Japanese people now, so that should eventually become a purely Japanese society for us there. The Amazons will rework into maybe a geisha society. The Berserkers I'll... again, maybe fix into some sort of, maybe like the Ronin or something, which are leaderless samurai, sort of like, not quite outlaws, but, not necessarily, associated well with in Japanese culture, or in that Sengoku period. From what I remember, again, I could be pulling all this out of my ass, but I'm just remembering what I can about you know, what I've read here and there. Court Tutor and 2 commanders as well is obviously very, very useful. We've got a 16 and a 10. Not great, but we'll find more commanders as we go. What a good start for Daimyo Nintendo. So I think what we want to do next is obviously move on this guy. Now, we do already have de jure claims on this one, so we should probably take that out, right? It's 3,800 men versus, ooh, 2,200. He's slightly dishonorable there because of his craven nature. How's he got? Oh, right, because he's got 17 martial. Fair enough. So what we'll do is we'll, in turn, after the rulership hoax is over, flip over to war, join the Samurai Society, and try and build up our honor that way. And see if we can't give ourselves a little bit more of a martial buff, because this is not great. We probably don't want to be leading characters as a result of that. Oh, shit! Our son! I didn't realize he'd actually died that fast. Damn, that took no time at all. At age 19, that's pretty sad. We are now playing, though, in good news, we're now playing as Nintendo Donkey Kong. Now, one suggestion I did agree with was changing it from the bonus from being +2 stewardship to +1 martial, -1 diplomacy, because it was a warring period. Lots of clans fighting against one another, that type of thing. So what we might do instead is flip over from stewardship to, like I said, that +1 martial, +1 diplomacy. But obviously, if you've got any more suggestions, let me know. Being such an industrious ruler, you have not gone unnoticed by the population. We can visit and gain, oh, a prosperity boost for 9.4 gold. That seems like a pretty good deal. Now, we've got 150 gold. Do you want to take that second duchy? Are we on Gavelkind? We are, but we've only got one son. Yeah, you know what? I think we can probably get ourselves that kingdom before we die, so nothing to worry about there. So we need 141 gold. If we control more, the cost does go down. Now, we don't have any de jure claims against these guys, do we? No, we can just establish a tributary state or extort tribute, both of which sort of do similar things, but one, when you die, they are released. The other, you retain them. We're going to have to wait till we're the king before we can actually push our claims on those guys. They're not much use anyway, seeing as they are a completely separate, independent island state. There's actually no way to get to them at all. That's not straight crossing, is it? That's a different sea. Yeah, that's a different sea. So, there's no way to get to that island besides via boat. Would make for an interesting capital, though. If they can only attack us via boats. That could be something to think about. So we're going to educate Donkey Kong in Thrift, obviously, because it's a good start. Curious becomes Shrewd. Fussy can become Diligent. It can become Greedy as well, which is most likely because we've got his Mudger. Mudger? Wow. Mother. Educating him. I sort of combine those two words there. She's patient. She's humble, which are both very good traits to have for your educator. It gives them the most chance of getting good traits in return. She's greedy though, so Fussy will most likely flip over into greedy, unfortunately. But with Midas touched as well, if we're playing as a stewardship character, not too bad. Now we can always buff up his martial by joining the Samurai Society too. My steward has bought me different books to help with my rulership. Now, if you guys have watched me for long enough, you'll know that I normally go for Vassal Administrator, because that's stewardship +2 and Vassal Opinion +10, which is very, very powerful. In this scenario, though, probably not worth it, because I don't think we even have any vassals, do we? Yeah, we've just got barons. Not worth, in that case, trying to administrate our vassals, seeing as they're not going to do anything. Domain size +1, stewardship +1. That's not bad. We've got Orderly Administrator, which is National Revolt risk -5%, and stewardship +1, or Building Administrator. That one's probably more useful for the early game, right? Construction processes? Okay, we'll take that one for now. So, let's actually invest that, our money, I should say, back into our capital. If we can get a good return, because obviously we're saving it for that kingdom level title. We'll get Fishing Port, which gives us galleys, garrison size, tech points, probably not worth it. Small castle domicile leads to those Flogi's buildings, which we will want eventually just to give us those little stat boosts. Yeah, no, I think it is worth waiting for the kingdom level title instead there. Well, a warring development there in the south of Japan. The duo Yamato Natsu of the Yamato Kingdom. I have absolutely no idea how to pronounce that. I assume that means king, or something equivalent. The inbred ruler of Japan. How did that happen? Oh, she was House Yamato and her... Who was she married to then to have that child? Some distant relative? Or maybe not so distant relative. I think they were cousins, in fact. Kind of rare that you would get an inbred child out of that, but she is now the ruler of most of Japan there. Ousted the previous figurehead emperor, who's now moved to the Ryukyu Islands. All the way in the south there. Very weird. So he's really got nothing left, has he? No, he's just got the Ryukyu Islands. Wow, unbelievable. Okay, so we don't have to worry about a single powerful king, but luckily for us, the king is inbred. The king is inbred, so there's nothing to worry about. Now, her heir, on the other hand, is already a duke, and is apparently an appealing duke at that. Doesn't really affect it too much, besides that free little bit of diplomacy there. The attraction opinion +20 as well. They're brother and sister, and this one got the lucky end of the genetics dip. Let's put it that way. They've got a decent amount of land. We might want to start forming alliances, things like that. Something I don't normally do. Maybe marry off some of our kids to try and overthrow the throne. Maybe even work together with some of these people. Suzerain of Count Isu of... Oh, so this guy's actually grabbing up different Low-level vassals. Interesting. Okay. So who are our biggest Japanese states right now then? So we've got a couple of duchies here. Now, shall I look at our realm instead? Let me just see if I can do this in the ledger. Alright, a little bit annoying, but that didn't work as well. I was hoping it would have in our realm the size of, you know how we could do it though? We're going to have to use the character finder. Oh, nice. Yasuyoshi appears to you. My liege, we have a great idea for a monument, something to raise our cultural status. So be it, surprise me. 95 gold. Ugh. Yeah, maybe not. He's also stubborn, erudite, content. So his stats actually depend on how that statue comes out. Again, it's not really worth spending the gold on that either. Oh, there was our wife before she actually moved to our court. Just so you guys know that was legit. There we go. Would accept an invitation to our court. Okay, so how we can do it then, what I was actually going to say, the reason I had the character open in the first place, the character finder, we'll search our realm for any ruler and look for their ranks as well. Now, we probably want to go my religion, my culture, just to narrow it down. Forget that realm isn't necessarily Japan, but just our provinces. So, the strongest dukes here, let's take a look. We've got 9,000 men there. House Fujiwara. House Nintendo is actually up there as well. Really? Huh. Wasn't expecting that. So House Fujiwara, the only other powerful clan here, and actually in hindsight, yeah, look at that, ridiculously powerful. Can we form some sort of pact with them? Our son maybe marries one of their daughters. Let's take a look. It's rare that I do this, but I feel like it's thematically appropriate. Oh, he doesn't have any daughters. A little bit annoying. We could offer him a concubine, maybe. We'll say yes. What's she like? Capable? I didn't even realize we could take concubines. We'll find better concubines than that. Sure. Offer concubine. That'll give him, was it plus 10 opinion that I saw then? Yeah, plus 10 opinion. Oh, relatives. Right, close relatives. Why don't we wait then in that case, and maybe offer him some concubines that are a close relative instead? Maybe it does give him opinion. I'll just double check. No, nothing unfortunately, even though we sent him that. But because of my honor, we get plus 3. That's nice. Now what we want to do instead then is play classic CK2. Sorry? That's not where his capital is at all. He must be leading troops there. Yeah, he's actually at war with the last of the emperor there. Nice. So we'll instead have our chancellor over in his capital, which I assume it is here. Yeah, I did get the right province there, to improve relations. We could go ahead and improve religious relations as well if we wanted to, but obviously not with him with some... Is there a head of a religion? There is, isn't there? Yeah, where is he right now? Nobumasa. Do we know exactly where that is? Residing in Yamashiro province. Right, okay. Let's take a look then. Find title region. Yamashiro is... Oh, actually in the capital, right. Fair enough. Let's go and improve religious relations in Yamashiro then, just to see what the head of our religion can do for us. That's horrible. That's the thing of nightmares. Look at that. What a mess. Alright, train some troops. We might as well seeing as organising the army. We've already got pretty decent commanders at this stage. Collect taxes. Probably not worth it because we don't really have taxes worth collecting right now. We'll just continue with our prosperity. And of course, we'll send our spy master off to China again to go and steal their tech. China in the middle of a massive revolt right now. The Song Empire kind of threatened by a lot of internal affairs. 51,000 men versus what have they got? 44,000. We might see the end of the Song Empire in that case. Wow, very strange. So, hopefully that was a good first episode and it's an introduction to the mod. Again, we can carry on with this save game now that I know what I'm doing with the mods and have the skeleton structure in place. I know it's not going to break anything now. So, thank you for watching. I hope you guys like this series. It seems like a pretty weird one. But hopefully together, again, we can keep building up this mod and turning it into a really fun, balanced playthrough, whilst also offering something different and unique. It might be a short one, because we're just going to form Japan. You know, I'm not going to name this series Japan to Rome again or anything like that. We'll start fresh. Thank you for watching, and of course, shout out to my top tier patrons, Sean Thornton, Danny Good, Zachary Harris, Lucas Holstein, Croesus, James Ogilvie, Conspire Team, Michael Mullen, Gabriel Van Duz, Hey Dog, Josh Lindeen Tesla, and Logan Thorne. And of course, everybody else who's backed on Patreon as well. Facundo Vasquez, Noble S, Felix Deal, Necrophilin, Zareven, Quet Lotchley, Brandon Bretoniak, Polemaster, Princess Ugly the Dragon, Jack Allen, Imperator Augustus, Chancellor Sheep Palpatine, Salaki, Llewellyn Thomas, Euphrates, Jordan Campbell, Euron DeVries, I'm the Lizard King, Donconia 217, of course everybody else who was backed since I last got my Patreon list, which has been a fair amount of people actually, and I apologise if you weren't on this one, but again, it's just been a couple of hours since I last checked it and realised there were some differences, so got to update that tonight. You should be in the next video. You have my humblest thanks, and again, yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the series. Let me know what you think.